On the news at 1, President Tinubu meets investors in Paris, says fuel subsidy removal will be sustained. New Chief of Air Staff assumes duty. And Commission of Police FCT briefs personnel in the build-up to Salah festivities. Many thanks for joining us on Nta Channel 5 News at 1. I am Miriam Emekamadi. The new Global Financing Pact Summit, which started Thursday in Paris, France, is challenging a new vista of hope for developing countries in agreement to resolve debt distress and to access sustainable development program.
It was a rainy day here in Paris, but world leaders from the globe, north and south, arrived Palais Bonnier in the French capital to network and lay foundation for a new system in tackling shared challenges. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu joined world leaders on the consensus for redesigning the global financial architecture, which will favor poverty reduction, debt restructuring or cancellation, and more consideration for vulnerable countries affected by climate change and COVID-19.
Je veux aussi remercier, chère Mia, la Première ministre.
French President Emmanuel Macron said African countries had been at the receiving end of the major global challenges with debt hangovers that hamper growth and development.
Ensuite, notamment à l'accord de Paris sur le climat de
President of Niger Republic, Mohamed Bazoum, who spoke on behalf of African countries, said the new pact must be urgent and essential to Africa, and the framework should reflect the realities of developing countries as partners.
avec des séquelles terribles.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres told the gathering of leaders that the high-level summit will need more mobilization and political will for redesign and implementation. Climate activist Vanessa Nakate from Uganda called for a moment of silence for the helpless across the world, attributing broken promises have cost the lives of many in developing nations.
Help make the inevitable happen
Vous devez
now.
et vous pouvez faire en sorte que cela se fasse maintenant plutôt que d'attendre. Pendant que ce sommet se tient, des gens meurent. Le petit garçon que j'ai rencontré à Kanaka County en est mort. Le secrétaire général des Nations Unies avait raison. Toute dépense supplémentaire en faveur des carburants fossiles n'est qu'une folie.
The presidents and leaders of multilateral institutions and the private sector at the summit went into syndicate sessions to discuss the new financial architecture. From the French capital, Paris, Abraham Osman Jibrila, NTA News.
Meanwhile, removal of fuel subsidy and streamlining exchange rate will be sustained for a more competitive economy to attract foreign direct investment. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila reports that President Bola Tinubu gave the assurance when he met the African Export-Import Bank and the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, urging other investors to take advantage of the opportunities.
On the sidelines of the summit for new global financing, President Bola Tinubu in separate meetings assured the delegation to stimulate the economy with policies that support investment in areas of Nigeria's competitive advantage, particularly agriculture. With reforms for national survival, the federal government will take courage to reposition the economy, calling for more collaboration to solidify the economy. Afrexim Bank president commended President Tinubu for the bold step in removing the fuel subsidy and unification of the exchange rate.
We also then looked at what support we could continue to give to businesses and banks under the environment, and as well as to NNPC as they implement the new pricing regime for oil products. It reaffirmed the support of the government of Nigeria for the bank and also for continued active engagement with us. So we are really very pleased with that because it paves the way for us to continue to do what we are doing in the country.
The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development President, Reinhard Basso, said the bank will focus on the private sector, especially small and medium-scale enterprises. From the French capital, Paris, Abraman Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
And back home, the federal government has followed with consternation a viral story of purported 114% increase in the salary of the president, vice president, elected federal and state political office holders and judicial officers, and states without any equivocation that President Bola Tinubu has not approved any salary increase and no such proposal has been brought before him for consideration. A statement by Special Advisor to the President's Special Duties, Communication and Strategy, Dele Alake, states that government recognizes that it is within the constitutional remit of revenue mobilization, allocation and fiscal commission to propose and fix salaries and allowances of political office holders and judicial officers, and as such cannot come to effect until it has equally been considered and approved by the President. The government notes that Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, through its public relations manager, has responded to the fake story being circulated and has already set the record straight, and that the unfounded story gained prominence on social media and in a section of mainstream media brings to the fore the danger fake news poses to the society and national well-being. The statement emphasizes that it is important to reiterate to journalists, media managers, and members of the public that stories on government activities and policy issues that do not emanate from approved official communication channel should be ignored. Media practitioners are therefore enjoined to